Good morning, America. Good morning, good morning, good morning. We getting ready to do our thing. We getting ready to make it happen right now. I just want to pause, let you listen to this LRE music. We're going to get right to you. Coming right back at you on the Hayward Barber Show. Yes, indeed. That is the LRE music, the Learn Real Estate Investing one-on-one training that Lola and I put together about 7 years ago now. We had a serious, strong, crazy run training real estate investing. Earlier today, I had the honor to be on a radio show to talk about real estate investing. Real estate investing, truly, y'all, is back. I still have a website up called realestateeaseasy.com, just like that, realestateeaseasy.com. And let me tell you, and even in on the website, which is an old site, we haven't updated it in a while. We're getting ready to put just a whole bunch, just a plethora of information, free information about real estate investing, and a particular segment called wholesaling, which is what Lola and I did, and we killed it. And we taught thousands of people personally how to do real estate investing. Again, the technique called wholesaling, using simply $1 down, and like 15, maybe even 18 years ago, and even longer than that, when Carlton Sheets was talking about real estate investing, I started learning it and never jumped in, and started learning it and then jumped out and jumped in, and then I finally plopped down, thousands of dollars for a guy to train me with a group of other people. So it wasn't like, I paid over $5,000 for this training, and it wasn't just him training me. It was in a room with maybe 300 or 400 other people, but he gave me the kick in the ass to make it happen. And this is what he told me. Just real quick, this is what he told me. He told me that, what I teach will work anywhere, any city, any suburbs, any rural area. But here's the caveat. It will work or won't work depending upon what you believe. Similar to the quote, the famous quote that everybody probably knows about, that Henry Ford put out there some time ago, that, it will or it won't, just depending upon what you think, quote unquote. I probably messed it up. But the deal is if you believe that no money down real estate investing will work, it will work for you. If you believe it won't work for you, you're absolutely right. Either way. So I started to believe that it will work. And I went on a quest to find out if it would work. And if it would work for not the area that I lived in at the time, but would it work for a guy like me? So I just started investigating all sorts of sources. And I found out that if it could work for anybody else, it could work for me. And it did. But anyway, that's not what the show is about tonight. I am going to get on, all the time I want to come to this show and give true, rapid resources. Because I know that, what has been good for me throughout my life might not be good for you. But I know this, that most people won't even give it a sincere attempt. Matter of fact, I know that for a fact, that most people have great ideas and they're sitting in you. And most people won't do anything with them. They won't even make an attempt. They say that the amount of times a person will try with their great idea is less than one. They won't even try one time. But anyway, tonight we're going to quickly talk about a gun down in Texas that might have been white supremacists. We're going to talk about the colon check, which is the title of the show. Secure the border. You know that these guys, they don't even want to come up with an immigration law. The immigrants, some people want to call them illegals, don't want to come up with a law to let the illegals stay or not stay. So we're going to talk about that. And we're going to talk about a subject too that's a little bit dear to my heart, because I have a child coming out of college and a child in college, and they're talking about today the New York Post, I believe it was the New York Post, said over 200,000 college grads are without jobs. My question to you is why? I mean, I have my own ideas, and we're going to go over them. And we're going to talk about this subject too. Sisters that cover our ass for our stupidity. And they do. And I'm watching an event unfold right now. I'm not even going to mention who it is or anything like that, but I'm just going to make comments on the fact that we got a lot of sisters out here that look out for us. No matter whether if we're in the game, we're not in the game, whether we're in business, whether we're not in business, if we even started a business and that she turned out to be our secretary, our VA, she wears 4 or 5 different caps, plus take care of the children, plus take care of our affairs outside of the business, put food on the table, make sure all the bills are paid in the house, and so on and so on and so forth. I mean, just a litany of things that our girl, you know, in some cases our wives, sometimes our girlfriends, sometimes our second situations and all that other kind of stuff that has just done unbelievable amounts of stuff for us. But anyway, and you know, and I'm at the point where I want to stop talking about Sean Hannity and Rush Limbaugh and Glenn Beck. Glenn Beck's got a host, and he's a hilarious guy. I'm actually having a good time listening to him, and he's doing a show, Glenn Beck show in the morning by himself. But anyway, these guys are just clowns. I mean, and I sincerely believe that. And I wanted to kind of stay away from calling people by name or calling people bad names like clowns, stupid, idiots, and stuff like that. But they are. They have no clue. And because this show is not I don't want to make this into an ethnic show, but my audience is ethnic. I have a lot of white audience, and my Latino brothers and sisters as well. Especially, you know, I grew up in Spanish Harlem in projects in New York City, Wagner Project. So I went to a Catholic school, a parochial school, which was black, white, and Latino. So a lot of my brothers and sisters are Latino. A lot of my brothers and sisters are Irish and Italian as well. So I mean, I grew up with a strong background, loving everybody. I mean, because we broke bread every single day. So I mean, it's impossible for me to hate people, but I can assure you right now for a fact, and I don't even know Sean, Rush Limbaugh, Glenn Beck, but these cats, they the kind of guys that say, you know, one of my best friends is a black guy, which, you know, and right now Sean Hannity is ponying up to Dr. Ben Carson, which, look, I don't have a problem with Ben Carson at all having his opinion about how he sees things, how he sees the Affordable Health Care Act, which is also called Obamacare. Ben Carson, brilliant black neurosurgeon, and has come up the ranks, and he pulled himself up, so to speak. But I assure you, he had a whole lot of other people behind him looking out for him. So I know he would not be the one that'll tell you that he did it all on his own and he did it on little government. That's ridiculous. So I don't have a problem with Ben Carson stating what he believes and what he sees as real. However, I have a problem with Sean Hannity pimping him out. And he might not be aware that Sean is pimping him out, or maybe he doesn't even care because he's getting an opportunity to state what he feels, which is okay. But Sean Hannity is a liar. And when you have a liar and you profess to be a Christian, it has a tendency to bite you in the butt. All right, I didn't want to say ass 3 times in a row, which I guess I just did. But anyway, I heard on the news a couple of nights ago, so this is actually old news, but then there's some new news just popped up. But there was a gun down in Texas, and they think that it might be white supremacists doing a hit on a state attorney, right? A state's attorney, because it was supposedly a revengeful murder on the fact that these white supremacists in Texas felt as though they were being targeted by this particular state attorney. So they killed him and his wife. Horrible. I guess I mentioned this mostly because so that you have fortified information that not all bad news is colored. Black, brown, even Midwest. When you go Midwest, especially in a place like Texas where you have a lot of Indian reservations, they like to, the tendency is always, especially I'm here in North Carolina, they like to publicize the news, and they always give the description of the perpetrators, and they like to point out when they're black. When they don't say the color, I automatically know that it's white guys or girls, because they behave in a very despicable manner in this area. And I say this to say, so we can move right along, that the conditioning of the mind by always putting out that it's black perpetrators, they did this, rather it's not even a felony cause, it might just be stupidity cause. They like to put that information out so that, one, that they can depict a people in a certain way, diminish the fact of another people in that same way, let you believe, you and I, to believe that these are the kind of people that always do this kind of information. Now, right now they're even talking about how there's a city in California going bankrupt, and now on all these shows, right, I'm decided today I'm going to call them right wieners, not right wingers. Wieners. Probably should even call them whiners, because they all whine. That's all they're doing day in, day out on their shows. They just, they do 30, 40, 50-minute rants about President Obama and what he hasn't done, which lets me know that this man is definitely doing a better than decent job with what he has been dealt with, the hand that he has been given. You're talking about a country that was in a mess. Cheney and the whole crew stole, just robbed this country blind, and they put 2 wars in the way so that you couldn't see. You can use that at the water cooler whenever you like. But I want to quickly say, because I get so excited, I almost forget the main thing. And the main thing is that I love you. I want you to know that you can always come to this show, female, male, whatever your gender. I love you. I care about you. You can reach out to me anytime that you want. I have a dedicated line. It's one of my old business lines. I had a carpet cleaning company, did extremely well with that company. However, because my back didn't love it as much as I did emotionally, I had to give it up. Gave the business to one of my sons. But you can call me on that line Anytime. If you need something done or you think I can help you, even if you want a quick tip about a business or some counsel, the Bible always says good counsel will serve man in any capacity. Get counsel. I'll be glad to help you. That telephone number is 252-495-0085. I repeat, 252-495-0085. So anyway, but I do love you and I do care about you. And if you need to hear me say it to you specifically with your name, be glad to do it. All right? So anyway, the clowns, they are still out there. You know that they're not over the fact that President Obama won by a considerable margin in November over the Republican candidate Mitt Romney. They're not over it. They can't get over it because they keep talking about it, and they talk only negativity about the president. I have yet to hear one thing since then that Obama has done okay. Just okay, not good. So these guys are clowns, so they're not even worth talking about. But anyway, so the gun down in Texas, maybe white supremacists, maybe not, who cares? Sisters, brothers, please, everybody, sisters, brothers. I've been one that call white people sisters and brothers as well, so don't get hung up on that. Everybody is my brother and sister. I mean, I make it known. I make the people down here speak, and I make them be nice, even if they don't want to be nice. Get a colon check. I'm getting ready to have my second one done on Friday. I'll be turning 50 soon. Get it done. Colon cancer can be prevented in almost 90% of the cases. Excuse me, almost 100% of the cases if caught early. The way they do the procedure now, if they see any polyps, they will get rid of them while they're doing the surgery. While they're doing the procedure, they will surgically remove the polyps. Polyps have a tendency to turn into cancer. The reason why so many men, especially, wind up having a situation with this colon thing is that they won't do a check. They have some kind of stigma. I don't understand it at all. They put you to sleep, and I know they insert this scope to check your colon, but I don't understand why we wouldn't get checked. I mean, once my doctor sent me to have one checked when I was in my 40s, and I heard so much about this thing. Matter of fact, I know there's another sister that does a radio show, really, really well done too. I believe her name is Joy. Man, that's my fault. Because I backed up her show when I heard her show when she did this with a doctor and a lady that had actually had a heart attack, and they talked about doing these various checks. And then I went and did, the thing on a heart attack and the whole thing, and also the colon, and have a check. Do that. It's no big deal. This will be my second one, and I encourage it. I'm okay with it, and I tell everybody. It's no big deal to me. But I'm trying to say to you, don't let it be a big deal to you. And I'm saying, sisters, get your man, get your boyfriend, whomever your relationship, your significant other is, to get it done. But then I'm going further and say you get yours done too if you're in, the 40-year-old range, especially if you have history of such a thing. So get it done. It's almost painless, the truth, because they put you to sleep and they do the surgery. I mean, not the surgery. Excuse me. I don't want to scare anybody. The procedure. And typically, if you have a clean bill of health, so to speak, it's going to be about 15 minutes. I took my dad and he's in his 80s. Well, he's about to turn 80. He's 79. And I took him about 2 weeks ago, and he had a clean bill of health. They didn't have to remove any polyps or anything like that. So, I mean, and it was good. He was, I kid you not, by the time I sat down and got into my book, the book that I told you guys that I'm reading with my grandson. Actually, I think that he's already done the report, and he's done it without my help. Probably didn't want my help. But by the time I got into one chapter, it was done. They were saying, Mr. Barber, you can come on back. Your father did well. He's okay. He's still asleep, and he'll be coming out of it in a few minutes. Boom. And I went back there, and he was great. And I think, and this is his first one. So then that lets me know right there that there's some kind of hang up. I don't know what, if it's the insertion of the camera, or I don't know what it could possibly be. If it's going to prevent you from getting a serious situation, I mean, 100% success rate if they catch it early enough. This is easy. This is easy stuff. And look, with the way that most people eat, I mean, you can only imagine why you have situations in your colon. Come on, this is really crazy. So get your colon checked. Absolutely do that. I mean, I know that a part of politics right now is this whole thing on the illegal immigrants, which I think is just a crazy illegal immigrants. The illegals. Can you imagine that anybody in the United States, from slaves, ancestors of slaves, us, black folk, the Latino community, which this is not our issue. We don't have no issue. We're not even saying that the illegal immigrants, and I know a lot of them are not all of them, but a lot of them come from Mexico and different Latin American countries. It's preposterous that we calling these people illegal immigrants when everybody here is an illegal immigrant. And the fact that we're fighting over, Sean Hannity and them, they want to say that we should not let them, give them legal ease, if you will, let them be citizens because they broke the law. Can you imagine that? They broke the law, and they say it with certainty that makes you believe that they think that they did not break the law. Just a human rights law of taking over this country, right? The idea that somebody could think that this country was found by another man, it mysteriously wasn't here for centuries, being occupied by a people that then we came and completely dominated, obliterated, right, from the map, and took over all their land, no compromise to speak of. And the reason why I say no compromise, come on, you know why I say that, because we compromise after the wars and fighting them, and fighting unfair wars. They have bow and arrows, we got bullets and all other kind of stuff, and then finally said, okay, you have this territory, we have this territory, and then come back years later, and I know I'm going fast with this, and say, we decided we want that land too. Come on. And we're going to say that we want the illegals, the immigrants, to go home or not get passage to this country because it's 11 million of them. I know the biggest fear really is, this is for the water cooler here, the biggest fear is that they believe that they're all going to be Democrats, that the large proportion, a large percentage of them will vote Democrat throughout the rest of their lives, and their children will as well, because they're more sympathetic. They feel as though that the Democrats are more sympathetic to their causes overall, because the Republicans, the GOP, these guys, they think that they'll never get a fair shot at their vote, so that's why they really don't want them here. But the fact that, that they could put whatever cloak they want, whatever they want to hide it under, they want to pretend that it's okay to not give them citizenship when your citizenship, if their citizenship is flawed, your citizenship is flawed. I'll go as far as my citizenship is flawed, even though your ancestors brought my ancestors here against their will. No one will touch this part of the discussion. And I know President Obama can't. You know, and I heard today Rush Limbaugh trying to be funny, right, but in a serious tone, that, you know, the black unemployment is well above twice the amount of whites. Of course it is. It always has been, and it always will be. Even though we know that Wall Street, or the people, captains of industry, are purposely holding back their purse strings from hiring people, and they're purposely doing this. And one of their purposes for doing it is that they will gladly do without the labor force if they could, and they will prefer to take their business elsewhere because it's cheaper. Oh, come on. And everybody's got to know this. So don't let anybody ever fool you at the water cooler trying to tell you that it's all Obama's fault and nobody knows what Obama's going to do, and this is the reason why that the Wall Street won't let go. They're sitting on almost $2 trillion worth of cash. Most businesses don't do that. Most big businesses don't do that. They put their money to work for them. But the point is that they are in other countries because the labor force is cheaper. So don't let anybody trick you. So this leads us right into this whole point about the over 200,000 college grads, Ivy League, mind you, can't find a job. So I asked the question, why? And why you think? And if you want, use that telephone number or leave me an email at haywardbarberjr@hotmail.com, because I like to know what you think about this, especially if it's somebody that don't like the view that I'm coming from. And look, I'm not a Democrat. I'm an independent, and I used to be a Republican. But it's impossible for me to follow their doctrine when they are so skewed. I mean, and I believed in what they used to believe in. I was somewhat of a conservative, even though I grew up in Spanish Harlem in the way I grew up. But I had to start to say to myself, these people are not about helping people. They're not about the Bible and serving people. And the fact that you have all these people that you put into a situation, yes, the ancestors of your slaves, you wouldn't let them read. They're in such a deficit of being able to accomplish anything because of your laws. And then you're going to say that now you are a drag on society because we have to give you the ability to survive in a way of welfare. That's just ridiculous. So, but nobody wants to even touch on that. So how preposterous can a thinking person say that, yeah, even though I did you wrong, I screwed you, I didn't let you learn, I didn't give you a fair shot, I never gave you what I promised in terms of holding you back for so long, stealing you from your essence, your land, and your religion, and your language, and your beliefs. Forget about it. It's no big deal. So what? And then the fact that, and this came back up again tonight, right before I started the show, these people are talking about, you know, they're trying to learn how to be sympathetic to the causes of other ethnic groups, Latinos, African American, Asian, so that they will come into their party, the grand old party. The reason why they're not, because they can't. But at one of their sensitivity meetings, a black guy was heading the sensitivity meeting. They actually started saying from the crowd, were not the slaves being taken care of, and did they have appreciation for the fact that they had food, shelter, and clothing? Huh. Can you believe? But this is the point here, right? So I don't do what these guys do, these rants. These people have the nerve to think that they did somebody a favor to bring them over here to work for them for nothing. to take them from their essence. Let me tell you, and this is unscripted. They know how powerful African Americans are. They know how powerful Latino Americans or Latinos from South America are. And they don't want them to recognize their power beyond their labor. That's why, in a sense, African Americans have been discarded. Do you not understand that President Obama, no matter what he did, no matter what he would try to maneuver to change the unemployment rate for black Americans, it's not going to happen. It's nothing that he could do. There's nothing that anyone could do. The original first black president that everybody tagged, Bill Clinton, there was nothing he could do. More things and more blacks were jailed under President Clinton's presidency than most presidents before him. There's nothing that you can do to fix that. You can't fix that. Matter of fact, you have conditioned a people for so long that the unemployment rate in that community couldn't change because of the conditioning of the mind. And we could touch on that, but we're not going to mess on that right now. So this is the point that I'm going, because this is under the subject, the secure the border. So they don't want to pass a bill, and right now under the GOP leadership, there are 4, maybe even 5 different proposals with the so-called new young establishment, the up-and-coming Republican conservatives. There's a few. Some of them would have, I think 2 of the guys, Rand Paul and Ted Cruz, have a proposal where they would get amnesty. They would just become citizens. 3 of the guys absolutely will not let them become citizens. And then the 2 that want to let them become citizens and not stand in line or go to the back of the line being punished because they broke the law. Can you imagine that somebody would have the nerve to say that it's the law that they're concerned with, where the law of human rights have been tampered with? That's why I tell you right now, Sean Hannity, such a huge hypocrite. Rush Limbaugh, I give him a pass because he's purposely pimping his audience, and he's really just a comedian. Sean Hannity, I think for some reason believes the nonsense that he is saying, but that's okay, because see, God has a real way of bringing things around full circle for people, especially that stand on his truth but ignore the truth that his word has put down, and then try to. So Sean Hannity is trying to actually, he's playing a vicious game of chess, and I don't even want to give him credit for playing chess. He's really playing a high-level game of checkers on a chessboard. But it's just, I mean, it's just over the top. So this is the whole point of securing the border. They want to secure the border only after they figure out exactly what they're going to do with the illegals. Oh my goodness. But their border has to be secure for them, because they don't want any more of these people coming over here. So that's so much for sensitivity training, right? So you got the college grads coming out, no jobs, and the jobs is the point of the jobs is Wall Street's holding on to jobs. They don't want to hire these guys. They don't want to hire. I'm going to be honest with you. No different than Cheney and Bush, mostly Cheney, robbing the country blind for their own selfish gains or selfish gains for their benefit and the benefit of their cronies, their lieutenants, the people that are on their side. They will sacrifice the whole of the country. That's why Sean Hannity and Rush Limbaugh, Glenn Beck, these guys don't even know. But Glenn Beck kind of knows that these guys are being shuffled by the likes of Cheney. But Cheney's not the first. Cheney is just the one that's the last of those dinosaurs that will sacrifice the country for their own personal gains and riches so that they can have their legacy live long without the care of the country. So they really don't care. But this is the so you're clear. Now you might not want to have this discussion at the water cooler because you will alienate people and you will instantly be labeled as an antagonist and someone that is far beyond just voicing your opinion. So you might want to be real careful about talking about the Wall Street and the Cheneys. You might just touch on it and go, but don't stay there about how Cheney and his whole crew just simply stuck up the country without a gun. They use rhetoric. They use mushroom clouds. They use talking points, if you will. So if you watch political news, you'll know what I'm talking about. But if you don't, you have enough to know that don't be suckered and don't let people sit around and try and bombard you with BS just to get you to force you to go their way, which is pure trash. Pure trash. And this one we're gonna glaze over this. I'm gonna have to talk about this a lot over the years and months coming, about sisters that look out for us, and when I say sisters, I mean women that look out for their men when the men are not looking out for the family. I'm watching a situation unfold right now where the man is not putting the family first. I mean, similar to the situation with the governor of South Carolina, where he was supposedly on a vacation in mountain climbing, and it turns out that he was in Argentina with his girlfriend. So I mean, and I only mention this, and I only mention him to show that it happens on all sides. And when it comes to black folk, and they try to talk about fatherless homes and baby mamas and all that kind of nonsense, which is to me is just absolutely despicable. When you put in, again, I go right to the conditioning of black men being ripped from their black women when they were on their plantations and they had no cohesiveness in terms of family, and no one ever cared, and there was in some cases the slave owner ripping the man from the connection of the family. His wife and his children would sell him off, but solely because he wanted, the slave owner, the master, wanted to make love with the beautiful, lovely, super attractive black slave woman. So if you want to, if now, I just want you to picture that whole scenario, that you sell off the slave male just so that you can have your way without any say, which it wouldn't have mattered anyway. Sometimes they would just do it with torment, but your fear that the man will go rogue and will kill you in the middle of the night for sleeping with, violating his wife, so you sell him off and you break that cohesiveness, that continuity of the family, and you make it a part of the conditioning. So black men, in their almost in their essence, in their being, that connection is still been broken. It has not been rescinded, even if you know it's the right thing to do. But your instincts, because of 450 years of breaking you apart from your mate, your soul mate, without any care, right? Humanity, right? So morality, right? All that good stuff that we will bring to the table, that these people are, we've done so much around the world and we've done so much in terms of humanity and our morality is straight and right. Oh, come on. Don't give me that garbage. It's pure trash. But sisters, the point of the matter is, please recognize who you have. Recognize the foundation on which he stands before you put your life and your children, his children maybe, or not his children, on the line. Be very, very careful about the game that he is playing out in the street and bringing into the household, and if it completes your overall mission when you have children. And I know you are trying your best in order to bring up children in the best manner that you can, and in some cases you may not even know that much. You may not even know the full connection of who you are with your children and where you need to bring them in order to make your family, but the overall community, us as a people, better. And I already take my hat off to you. I never do this show with my hat on, even though it looks nice. I won't do it because I always do this show in honor of you. Because I know the struggles that you go through on a daily basis, covering our ass, right? Covering our ass, and then keeping the family in forward motion. I know what you're doing. And I know that your overall intent is good. So yeah, I keep my hat off to you when I do this show. Now, if you catch me with my hat on, when they wind up putting me on in front of a camera, you call me out on it. Because I know what you're doing. But be careful in how you cover our ass. Because it might be to the detriment of your overall goal. And I see what you're doing. So, once again, this is Haywood Barber, the Haywood Barber Show. And I love you. I care deeply about you. You're important to me. You're my very reason for doing this show. You're the very reason why I get up thinking about this show. Thinking about the different ways that I'm going to improve this show and how I'm going to make segments and how I'm going to make it into eventually an hour-long show, and then I'm going to do 20-minute segments on this and a 20-minute segment on that and a 20-minute segment on that, and we're going to put in features and we're going to make sure we have resources that are enriching to your life. Because there's nothing, in my opinion, there's nothing more important than you. So when I come to you, I sincerely tell you how I feel and how much I do love you. And I care about you. If you got an idea of where I should go or where I might be messing up, I like to hear it from you. If you're going to talk about my politics, I don't even care what you say. But this is the real estate.
A teaching company, and what we do is we hold people's hands through the real estate process. My main goal always is to make sure that you get a perfect understanding.
LRE, one-on-one integrity. LRE, students of success are we. Learning real estate investment, failure is not an option, it's just a test. And we ain't gonna stop. LRE, one-on-one integrity. LRE, students of success are we. Learning real estate investment, failure is not an option, it's just a test. And we ain't gonna stop, yo. We'll be caught up in the rat race. Somebody move my cheese. Now I'm caught in the paper chase. In that case, I need to do something different to make a change. Or just call me insane. Locked, trapped, shackled in the daily repetition. Inertia, without the power to act. Now what's up with that? Maybe I need to be let in on the secret. The law of attraction in this trap is not an accident. With my thoughts, man, I brought this on myself. So if I change my thoughts, then I can bring something else. That's why I write this, cause something came to me. As an answer to my prayers, it's called LRE. One-on-one, son, and you can get some. With people, places, and things comes your blessing. So learn to bless one when you get one, right? Give to get one, pass the test, son. LRE, one-on-one integrity. LRE, students of success are we. Learning real estate investment, failure is not success are we? Learning real estate investment. Failure is not an option, it's just a test. And we ain't gonna stop. On this letter campaign, it's a numbers game. Send your letters out, man.